Welcome to the deep dive. So, have you ever heard of dachshot?
Sounds intriguing. Not street food, I take it.
No, definitely not. Today we're diving into this really specific type of humor called dachshot, showcased by Saigon To on Vietcetra's YouTube channel.
Okay.
Think of like a dad joke,
Yeah.
the kind that's so bad it loops back around to being, well, almost funny.
Ah, okay. That kind of intentional groan inducer where the lack of actual funniness is the point?
Exactly. You get it, even if you don't actually laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Maybe more of a slight smile or, a groan.
Right. And what's interesting there is the sort of shared agreement, isn't it? It's not just the joke itself, but everyone recognizing, that's what this is, that shared experience.
Yeah, precisely. And to really get into it, we've got some great examples from that Vietcetra video. They've helpfully grouped them by theme.
Oh, nice. That should make it easier to follow.
So first, there's a bit called Zendi Troyen, genetic Zen. That's Chung Coffee and Vung doing puns about Kakaloa Hut, nuts.
Nuts. Okay. Got it.
Then Chung Coffee is back, this time with Phung Nam for musical instrument puns. Neko.
Musical puns. Always a classic source.
Then Ha Trang joins Chung Coffee and Minty. They tackle career-related wordplay. Han Quoc.
Okay. Korea?
Chung Coffee also teams up with Lin, who you might know as the reviewer. They do Hollywood and Vietnamese movie puns, so Phim on Hollywood, Phim Neko, Vietnam.
A movie segment. Cool.
And finally, Phung Nam plays a flight attendant and a captain for some aviation humor. Hong Kong.
Wow. Quite the range of themes.
It is. So our mission really is to dissect this Ida Chant style. We'll look at the wordplay, the cultural references.
And try to figure out why these deliberately kind of flat jokes work, or at least how they function.
Exactly. And just a heads up for you listening, some of these might genuinely fall flat for you.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point, isn't it? It's subjective. A groan is as valid a reaction as a chuckle here.
Totally. All right, let's crack open the first one. Nuts. Vung kicks us off. Kaklo hot.
Okay, nuts.
So right off the bat, there's a joke that plays on regional dialects. Someone's meant to bring chili sauce to a nut,
Right.
but brings something else, and the reaction is tiro. Now, in the South, tiro means, like, it's gone, or it's ruined.
Okay, like the northern word hong, maybe? Broken, spoiled?
Yeah, exactly, like hung. So the pun is on T, meaning gone or ruined, but maybe also sounding like pepper, which is also piu, although the source focuses on the gone meaning. It's that double meaning.
Okay. A quick play on common phrases and regional differences. Neat.
Then there's the setup. Two beans meet after ages. What do they say?
Two beans. Gotta be a pun. Something with bean, obviously.
You got it. It's the English phrase, where have you been?
Okay, a direct English loan pun. Interesting. Shows how English is, filtering in.
Definitely. And it assumes the audience gets that little bit of English.
Right, a bilingual pun.
Next one. What kind of bean is always helping people out?
Helpful bean. Okay, tofu in Vietnamese is do phu. Is it that?
Spot on. Ofu. Tofu. The bean that helps others. Simple. Almost wholesome.
Yeah, it's charming in its simplicity. A little nod, a slight smile. That's very dot chod, it seems.
Totally. Okay, still in the nut world, but with a hua accent twist. Sunflower seeds are hot hung dum.
Right.
Apparently, it's said with a hua accent. It sounds a lot like Chuan Bun 54 tour.
Which means...
Mr. Trung Dung, 54 years old.
Okay, that's quite a leap. The humor is just in that unexpected phonetic similarity, conjuring up this random image.
Exactly. It's the surprise. Not a belly laugh, but that, okay, chuckle.
Acknowledging the wordplay itself.
Right. Okay. Switching themes, music time, Chung Coffee and Phin Nam, and they have a singer guest, the writer.
A guest judge, sort of.
Yeah, and the challenge is simple. Whoever makes the writer laugh more with their achut wins. That's a bit of fun competition.
Yeah, raises the stakes slightly, let the pun battle commence.
First one. What's the most hotent musical instrument? Hotent is a specific string instrument.
Okay, so what's the pun?
The answer plays on hotent, sounding like Ken.
Ken, like a trumpet or horn?
Yes, but Ken can also mean like frugal or stingy.
So the hotent instrument is the stingiest one. Okay, clever, double meaning. You need that colloquial understanding.
Definitely. Next, the piano. It's called ensun. What music does it play? Naktrin.
Not Trin Kung Sam's music. That's iconic stuff.
Super iconic. The pun here isn't super obvious just from the text. It might be more the delivery. Maybe Nen Sun sounds a bit melancholy or something.
Yeah, it feels like there's a layer missing without hearing it. It's probably a subtle sound thing or maybe a cultural association we're not quite getting just from the transcript. More nuanced.
Feels like it. Okay, then. What's the most annoying music?
Annoying music. Another genre pun, I bet.
Yep, it's nakbo, band music.
Nakbo. Okay, and the pun.
It sounds like nakbo, like constrained music or figuratively nagging, complaining music.
Huh, okay. I can see that. Taps into that feeling of music sometimes being a bit much.
Right. Okay, next instrument. The dan tuba, a traditional lute. Why do mothers supposedly like it?
Tuba. How does that sound punny? The answer is men play it, women get tired.
Exactly. Atuba sounds really close to datuba,
Which mean
like suffering tuba, or maybe even implying women suffering because of it. It's a bit darker, maybe ironic.
Interesting. So Daichot isn't afraid to touch on like light stereotypes or cultural ideas, even through puns.
Seems so. Okay, magicians in a bird room. What musical key or tongue do they play? Answer. Tong do tuong.
Dum do tum. C major key. How is that a pun?
It sounds almost exactly like Tung Do Tung,
Meaning,
chief apostle or senior follower.
magicians in a bird room are chief apostles.
Okay,
That's wonderfully absurd. I like that one.
it is pretty good. Last one for music. Microphones. A regular mic is a micro. What's a mic for the gym?
Gym mic. Maybe plays on muscle.
Close. It plays on the English word mixer. The answer is micer.
Micer like mixer.
Yeah.
Okay.
But wait, there's more. It connects to Meitupke, a muscle training machine. So micer gets linked to building muscles.
Whoa, okay. That's multi-layered. English mixer, Vietnamese muscle machine. That's quite intricate for a quick pun.
It is. Right, let's hop over to Korea. We've got Ha Trang joining Chung Coffee and Minty, and apparently Ha Trang was a bit wary of this humor style at first.
Ah, okay, so she's maybe the audience surrogate, initially unsure about the achat vibe.
Could be. So, first joke. A dish in Korea made only by men. The answer is manned.
Manned. Oh, like the English word man.
Yep. Tied to that online phrase, let me do it, let him cook. Simple English word drop.
Right. Very direct.
Next. What's the wallet of the forest god called? Answer, K-Bob.
K-Bob. K is tree. So just tree bob. Playing on the name.
Seems like it. Just a straight sound similarity. No deep meaning, just K-Bob.
Sometimes it's just that simple connection, isn't it? The arbitrariness is part of it.
Feels like it. Okay. Why is Kim afraid to go to Korea?
Let me guess. Kimchi.
You got it. Tai vi krar la kimchi. Because over there, she becomes kimchi. Straight name pun. Uses a famous food.
Simple, effective, relies on common knowledge. Classic
Yeah.
pun territory.
Totally. Now, a drink in Korea that makes everything you say true. The answer,
So true.
so true. Ah, like soju.
Exactly. Phonetically similar to the Korean drink. And then they just add you can dance at the end.
Just randomly.
It's just randomly. Adds to the quirkiness, I guess.
The non sequitur is part of the humor.
Okay. Then there's this meta moment. Someone asks, basically, hey, am I boring? Ehusi naam hangta.
Uh-huh.
And the reply is essentially, no, it's not you. Our group just loves these dad jokes.
Yeah. That's great. The humor acknowledging itself, winking at the audience about its own nature. Very dacha.
Totally. After that, there's a food joke mention where the mom gets it right, the dad gets it wrong, showing a generation gap. But we don't have the actual joke. Shame. Would have been interesting to know what reference the dad missed. That tells you something about the cultural knowledge involved.
Agreed. Okay, moving on. A pun about Busan and Seoul.
Oh,
Everyone wanted to go to Busan because it was busy, crowded.
right.
So now they go to Seoul because it's seo.
And seo means...
Like sitting, using only 18th of your behind,
Right.
perching, basically, because it's less crowded.
Okay. Very visual, kind of absurd. Playing on the sounds of the city names again. A comment on overcrowding, maybe?
Maybe. Then, a friend named Na. The joke involves her dad. Kinchana, knowing Na's dad.
Sounds like...
Kachana, which is like an exclamation, oh, too much, or how annoying.
Ah, okay. Similar sounds, completely different sentiment. Creates that little jolt.
Then an island in Korea where nobody praises you.
Yeah.
You don't get Ken praise.
Okay, it must be Jeju Island.
You know it. Jeju sounds like Shedu.
Criticize you. Right. Another geographical sound pun.
Yep. And a talking nut in Korea.
Kakao.
Cocoa something. What does it sound like?
Kakadinoite. Coco speaks the truth. Okay. Whimsical.
And the last Korea one. Calling an Uber in Seoul. You don't call a technology car ride-hailing.
You call a
Sikungdat.
soul technology instead of ride-hailing technology. Got it. Playing on the city name again.
Exactly. All right, let's head to the movies. Lynn from Reviewer joins Chung Coffee. Hollywood meets Vietnam flicks.
Okay, cool collaboration. Should be interesting to see how the humor translates to film titles.
First, Hollywood idea. Prehistoric LGBT creatures. The title. Kung Sao like Kung Kung.
Okay, break that down. Kung Long is dinosaur.
Right. And Kung means peacock, but can also mean, like, bent. So repeating Kung Kong sounds a bit like Kung Long, but also hints at the bent or LGBT theme in a very roundabout, punny way.
Wow, that's layered, using the sound in a secondary meaning.
Clever. Next, a Chinese movie about feeding a monkey, titled Toku Kong.
Toku Kong sounds like Teduki, Journey to the West, with the Monkey King.
Exactly. And maybe also a bit like Bao Kong, the famous judge figure. It hits multiple phonetic marks, none directly about feeding, just unexpected connections.
Right, the humor's in the misdirection via sound.
Then, a Hollywood blockbuster.
Mmm.
Subject, a boiling kettle. Title, just boil.
Just boil. That's it.
Okay, the humor there is just the sheer anticlimax, right? The absolute mundane title for a supposed blockbuster.
Exactly. And this leads to a little chat they have about steel cha, a stolen joke, versus nonchang, like a brain fart.
Okay.
They decide, is just a nonchang, a brain fart. And they even tell the audience, hey, go watch the clip about nun.
That's funny. Acknowledging the duds, owning the brain farts, gives insight into their process.
Totally. Okay, next movie, Zombie Math. Title, Physiaksut.
Physiaksut. Sound like Physiaksut. Probability zombie or corpse.
Yep. Phi might be a nod to Facebook or just a similar syllable. Another sound play with a modern touch.
Got it. Zombie math. How about a war movie where nobody knows why they're fighting? Title, Money.
Just money. English word again?
Yep. Simple, cynical commentary via title. The bluntness is the joke.
Makes sense.
Movie about a rushing wind. The title is just sounds. Ujo hoigi hoigi hoi.
So just imitating the wind, pure sound effect as a
It's
title.
not much. Onomatopoeia-ish.
Okay. Turkey.
Possessed kite movie. Title.
Huh.
Kon Theo Biocho.
Kunthio Tiojo. Dog kite. Wait, isn't Kunthio Tiojo Gone with the Wind?
It is. So this is Gone with the Dog Kite, just scrapping one word for absurdity.
Parodying a classic title. Nice.
There's mention of a favorite Dao joke about entering a movie. Ao means peach, but also to dig. We don't get the joke, so.
Yeah. Could be about digging into the movie. Or maybe literal peaches. Shame it's missing.
Yeah. Then a Vietnamese film about someone being watched constantly. Title, Avan Ken Can Dan, still guarding the anonymous person.
Okay.
And that's contrasted with a hip-hop artist, Alvin Kent, still rhyming.
Very similar phrases. Con, guard versus vin, rhyme. Surveillance versus creativity. Clever word swap.
It is. And the last movie bit is just a joke about not doing stand-up comedy. No punchline given.
Maybe the joke is just saying that in this context. The ultimate anti-joke.
Could be. The meta-humor strikes again.
Seems like a running theme.
All right, final segment. We're taking flight. Feng Nam is a flight attendant. There's a captain, and they're in a dead joke zone on a genetic flight.
Ooh, the dead joke zone. Setting expectations low, which is probably perfect for dot shot.
Right. So first, what do you need to cut for something to work? Cut means take off, but also remove or put away.
Okay, for a plane.
You need to cut, take off.
So the answer is basically repeating the word in a slightly different context.
Yeah.
Very literal.
Textbook, dot, stating the obvious with a slight word twist.
Okay.
Next, at the airport, there's a place where if the power goes out, you lose all your files. Why? Because the staff are Hunvian Kung Lu.
Nunvian Kumlu means air traffic controllers. But Kunglu also means...
Not saved. Unpreserved.
So the files aren't saved because the unsaved controllers lost power. Okay, that's a good one. A proper double meaning relevant to the setting.
Yeah, that one works quite well. Then there's a guy named Hai. Why does he check everything before boarding?
Hi. Does it sound like an English word?
It sounds like Hai want.
Hi want. Asking around Hi Kwan.
Exactly. Hai want sounds like Hai Kwan. Simple phonetic name pun.
Got it.
What's the cooking group on a plane called? Fly-handle.
Flight crew. Okay, what's the pun?
Sounds like Fly-han, short flight.
Ah, okay. Subtle shift. Flight crew becomes short flight.
Most feared animal while flying. Connery.
Connery is a bat, but re also means to fall.
Bingo. The animal whose name means fall. Definitely don't want that on a plane.
Yeah, a bit dark, but fits the pun logic.
So naturally, the most feared god while flying. Tunde.
Tundi must sound like Tunnery, the god of falling.
You got it. Builds right off the last one.
Logical progression of doom.
And finally, why don't people buy plane food? Because the GI trend trope.
Sky-high prices. A common idiom, but literally true on a plane.
Exactly. The context makes the idiom funny again. Relatable.
Yeah, that one lands because everyone knows that feeling.
So we've landed safely from our pun flight. Looking back at all these examples, what are the big takeaways about chat shot humor?
Well, the huge reliance on Vietnamese homophones and near homophones is obvious, right? That's the bedrock.
Definitely. The language itself provides so much material.
And then there's that mix with English, just casually dropping in English words or phrases for puns. Shows a certain, maybe younger, bilingual audience focus.
Yeah, or at least an audience comfortable with that code switching.
Yeah.
And the cultural context seems key too.
Absolutely. Some jokes clearly need you to know specific Vietnamese things, figures, expressions, maybe those generational references we saw hinted at. Without that, they'd just be noise.
So wrapping it up, Duck Shot seems to be about deliberately not being hilarious. It's all about the wordplay.
Often phonetic wordplay.
Built on shared culture. Aiming for that knowing groan or that slight smile of recognition.
Yeah, it's less about the laugh out loud moment and more about appreciating the attempts, the linguistic twist, the shared understanding that, yeah, that was bad, but I see what you did there.
Precisely. It's like you're in on the joke of the joke being kind of lame.
Exactly. It's about the cleverness, however slight, and the connection it creates through that shared ground.
So maybe something for you listening to think about.
Yeah.
Notice the wordplay around you. How does humor use language in your own culture? What kind of puns, even the really bad ones, catch your ear, and why?
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Could appreciating these bad jokes actually be its own kind of sophisticated humor? Maybe it relies on being aware of language, of cultural tropes, and kind of enjoying the deconstruction of a proper joke.
Perhaps the real humor is just being in on that meta-level appreciation.
Yeah.
Something to ponder.